Thank you very much. Can we get a roll call, please, Kathleen?
Commissioner Dickerson?
Here.
Commissioner Lopez?
Here.
Commissioner Mohajer?
Here.
Commissioner Seifert is absent. Chair Blanco.
Here. Okay, let's move on to public comment period. Let me read the rules for that. Speakers may provide public comments on any matter within the subject matter jurisdiction of the commission. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes, maximum 15 minutes for public comment period overall. Unless a majority of the commission objects, the chair may provide speakers more or less time to speak. All comments or queries shall be addressed to the commission as a body and not to any specific member thereof. Pursuant to Government Code 54954.2A2, the Ralph M. Brown Act, no action or discussion by the commission shall be undertaken on any item not appearing on the posted agenda, except to briefly provide information, ask for clarification, provide direction to staff, or schedule a matter for a future meeting. So with that, do we have any public comments on items that are not on the agenda? No. Okay. Doesn't look like it. So let's move on to consent calendar. And the only item we have are the minutes from the May 6, 2026 hearing. Any comments or questions or motion to approve?
I think you guys will have to motion.
I'll move to approve.
Okay. Motion?
You'll probably have to second it because we
I
probably.
think, Tom, you were out, huh? Okay, I think we're down to 2 here because we have 2 that were out last time. So I will second that motion, Commissioner Mohajer. So all those in favor, I guess the only 2 voting, Mohajer and I?
Aye.
Aye.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair. So that's not going to pass. So what we could do is hold the minutes for the next meeting when hopefully Commissioner Seifert is here, and then we can try again.
Okay,
Thanks.
sounds good. We'll hold off on the minutes until next meeting. Thank you. So now on to public hearings. We have several items here. We have item number 5, but we'll go with 5A. First is the Blosser Ranch Lots 8 and 10 subdivision time extension, property location at southeast corner of Blosser Road and Stoll Road. Dana?
Yes, thank you. So I'm Dana Eady, the Planning Division Manager, and I'm going to be presenting the 3 requests for time extensions this evening for Blosser Ranch. The first one is for lots 8 and 10 of the Blosser Ranch Area 5B specific plan. And this tract was approved by the Planning Commission back on May 3rd of 2023, and the request is for a 1-year time extension for both the map and the plan development permit. So just to refresh everyone on the project, the area is 145 acres in size, and it's shown on the slide here. It's located south of Stoll Road, north of Battles Road, east of Blosser Road, and west of Depot Street. The site was historically used for ag cultivation, but it has recently been graded in preparation for future development on the property, and in particular on Lot 7, which is a apartment project. There's been mass grading completed towards that work, and also building permits reviewed. This is the zoning and land use designations of the specific plan. The 3 time extensions that are being reviewed this evening are for the single-family residential tracts that are located in the yellow area of the map. It's zoned plan development R1, so it has the plan development overlay, and it's a single-family residential zone. And it's just under 60 acres in size. This is the master tract map for lots 8 and 10. And it was, the tract itself was approved by City Council for final recordation on March 7th. This is the first phase of the single-family residential development that would be moving forward, and then future phases would be developed over lots 9 and 11, which are located just to the east, and then on lot 4, which is to the north. Again, this is the approved tentative tract map for lots 8 and 10. It includes 105 single-family dwellings, and then 96 of those lots would include an ADU, and all the units were proposed to be rented. The tract includes 24-foot wide roads, and it has an entrance and exit off of Western Avenue and an exit only onto La Brea Avenue. This is just a quick overview of the house styles and plans for lots 8 and 10 as they were approved in 2023. And then this slide just gives a quick overview of the resident amenities and open space. There were a number of sitting areas, pocket parks, and each of the residential tracts also has its own community center as well, a pet park and wash area, and numerous landscaped areas throughout the site. So the lots 8 and 10 were approved by the Planning Commission on May 3rd of 2023. It was both the plan development permit and the tract map together that were approved. The effective date of those two permits was on May 18th of 2023, and there's a 36-month expiration date. So the permit expiration date is May 18th of 2026. So the request is to extend that expiration date of both permits by 1 year to May 18th of 2027. And in order to do that, the municipal code requires that the Planning Commission make a finding that there has been adequate due diligence to implement and complete the permit, or that there are significant economic factors that justify the additional time. And so in this case, the applicant cites economic factors such as changes in the current housing market, interest rates, and challenges obtaining project funding as the main reasons to justify the additional time to complete the project. The project is also part of an overall planned phased development of the overall site, with lots 8 and 10 expected to be developed first, following the construction of the apartments on lot 7. So as soon as the funding has been completed for the project, this would be the next one to move forward. And so the staff recommendation on this is there's 2 actions. So by resolution, approve the permit amendment granting a 1-year time extension for the tentative map. And then by motion, approve the permit amendment granting a 1-year time extension for the plan development permit. So thank you. That concludes my presentation on the first time extension request.
Okay, thank you, Dana. Do we have any questions for staff? Commissioner Dickerson.
I just have a quick question. I know it's really nitpicky, but so have they technically, has their permits lapsed by 2 days? I mean, isn't it, if it's the 18th and today's the 20th?
No, Commissioner Dickerson, they submitted the time extension application before the expiration date, and so it's fine to be presented tonight.
It's the submission date, not the, I see.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? No? Okay, no other questions. So let's move to, does the applicant have any questions or comments? I know there's a speaker slip here. Lori, I see you have a slip here, but if you'd like to go ahead, yeah, why don't we have you come up?
Good afternoon, commissioners. It's good to see you guys again. I'm really here just to answer
Any questions? Oh, there we go. Any questions you guys may have regarding the 3 permits we're presenting to be time extended today? Yeah, I'm here to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for the applicant?
I have one, just real quick.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yeah, just one real quick question. Is the grading that's there now part of the, I guess the first parts of the apartments, is the second back half of that, the residential?
So the grading that's been completed to date is not only for the apartments on Lot 7, some of it extends into what we're talking about here, Lots 8 and 10, and then additionally the infrastructure roads that support multiple phases of the project. So La Brea all the way down to the roundabout in the center of the project.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Any other questions for the applicant? No?
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead, Commissioner Dickerson.
Yeah, I haven't been a big proponent of this particular project, but I did vote for it originally. But one of the things that I had brought up, one of the concerns I had was having too many too large of a percentage of rentals in our community being controlled by a single landlord, which of course is one of the things that your business model is. But I was assured at that time that, by you and others, that would not be the case, that there wouldn't be a cascading event where that type of control would allow prices to go up and up, that it wasn't feasible. But I do note that one of your reasons for wanting this extension is to prevent flooding the market with vacant units, which poses substantial financial risk. That would seem to imply that if you actually did go online all at once, that it would actually drive the prices down in this particular market. So how do I square those two?
Good question. Thank you for asking. First off, the single-family developments both have a plan development permit and a map. That allows for the flexibility not to only be for rent. We were upfront with the commission that was something we were also looking at, but it's really dependent on the market analysis at the time. The market has obviously shifted since we've last spoken, and so part of what we're approving today is the ability to also have the homes be for sale. So it's not a fully rental community. We're actively in the market for both product types on multiple phases of the project to have that product variation. So that's the first thing I'd like to point out. The second thing is that regarding the flooding of the market, we have to obtain financing to build out different phases of the project at different amounts of time. If product is built that's hundreds of millions of dollars and there's no one to live in those apartments, or there's no one to actually lease or to occupy those units sit there and we burn through interest for multiple years. This is a normal process for any business plan, that you don't flood the market more than what the market can absorb at any given time. It's not necessarily a price point driven thing. It's more of people moving into the community over a certain amount of time based off of the population growth of this particular city. And so that's how it's defined. And then to your third point about one owner owning the entire site, that's not the business model here. There are multiple phases that will be multiple different owners. Our business model is we build and we manage it through, like I mentioned, Greystar, and then it eventually gets sold to an apartment owner. So you'll have more than likely multiple phases owned by different competing owners over the life of the project.
Okay, so you don't think that at this stage that the community would be able to, are you saying that there would be there would be vacancies at this point? Because it seems to me that everything that we're hearing is that we need 800 units today. So why wouldn't they be able to be rented?
What we look at is we go back and look at the projects that have been delivered and their timeline for absorbing units in the market. That's the factor that we look at, and the units that have been delivered over the last 5 to 10 years have an absorption rate of about 20 units a month, mostly in the last 5 years, which is pretty high for a city of this size, and that's because of exactly what you're saying, that there is a need for housing in this market. But not more than that. And so the way we phased our development is, now that we've gotten Lot 7 out of the ground, and just to backtrack a little bit, but the grading's been completed, but right now we're in the underground utility phase, and you'll see there's a perimeter wall going up. So we're well ahead, and we have the financing for that first phase. And then once that phase gets a certain amount done and completed, we then move on to the second phase, which is what we're in the market for right now.
Well, but we've heard testimony, from, frankly, people like Ms. Tamura, that we need to set land aside for building over the next 20 years, far in excess of 240 units a year, which would be 20 units a month.
Yeah, I think there's different levels of affordability within the city. So part of that is, the quality of the build out. So some apartment buildings will be nicer than others and have more stronger amenity packages, and there are a certain amount of people that can afford those. There are some affordable units in this project, as you know, and so over 20 years, yes, we do need a lot more housing here. But again, we look at the factors of how did the previous projects that have been delivered over the last 5-10 years do, and that's the main factor that we would look at in terms of absorption.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Mahajer, go ahead.
Given all the variables, do we have an ETA of full build-out?
I wouldn't be able to answer that, given
No.
that the market does this. But I can
Fluctuate.
say that Lot 7, which is the first 300 units, is going to be delivered over the next 2 years. And Lots 8 and 10, which is the first single family, is looking to break ground in the next 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
And then rolling, breaking grounds off of that.
Okay, thank you for that.
Thank you. Is good? No. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's move on to public comment. We have one speaker. Lori? You good? Okay, you're good? Okay. Okay, very good. So with that, let's come back to the commission for any discussion or final questions or motion. I guess we have two. We have a resolution and a motion. And we have to do those separately and vote separately, I believe, right? Correct? Okay. Discussion? Motion? No? No? Okay. Well, we're at a stalemate.
I'll go ahead and make a motion. I'd like to make a motion that by resolution, approve permit amendment A 2026-007, granting a one-year time extension for vesting tentative track map TR 2023-001. First motion.
Sir, I think we're reading off, are you reading off the teleprompter or the?
Oh,
screen?
I'm sorry.
You're on the second
I'm
one, I
on the
think.
second one.
You're on the second one, Tom.
Okay. So then my motion will be by resolution approve permit amendment A 2026-006. That's the right one, right?
That's the right one, yeah.
Granting a one-year time extension for the vesting tentative track map TR 2022-006. That's separate. resolution, right?
Separate, yep. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Can we get a roll call?
Commissioner Lopez,
Aye.
Commissioner Mohajer,
Aye.
Commissioner Dickerson,
Aye.
Chair Blanco.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, my second motion will be to approve permit amendment A 2026-0014, granting a one-year time extension for the plan development permit 2022-007.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Can we get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Lopez,
Aye.
Commissioner Mohajer,
Aye.
Commissioner Dickerson,
Aye.
Chair Blanco.
Aye. Thank you very much. Okay. So on to item 5B, which I think is going to be pretty similar.
It's a little shorter.
Okay.
But yes, so this is the second time extension for lots 9 and 11 of the Blosser Ranch single-family subdivision. This is showing the location of lots 9 and 11. It's on the southeast side of the specific plan area, just adjacent to where the new sports complex is proposed. So this particular tract included 175 single-family dwellings, and then 168 of those lots would include an ADU. And again, it is proposed to be rented. And similar roads, so 24-foot wide roads and entrance off of Western and exit onto La Brea. Lots 9 and 11 have a little bit of a different color scheme than 8 and 10. And the improved elevations and color schemes are shown here on this slide. This is also a rendering of what they would look like following construction. Similar amenities to lots 8 and 10. It does have its own community center, a linear park, and then a pocket park and a pet park as well. And so for this particular time extension request, lots 9 and 11 were approved on November 1st of 2023, which meant the permit expiration date would be November 16th of 2026. And the request is to extend the expiration date of both permits by 1 year to November 16th of 2027. The same finding as the prior project is required to be made, and the applicant's the applicant has provided the same reasoning for needing to extend the permits for this particular tract as well, just based on, the economic factors, interest rates, the current housing market. There is one revision to the permit expiration date. The staff report and attachments mentions that the one-year time extension would be November 15th of 2027, but that's off by 1 day. So anything that mentions November 15th needs to be revised to say November 16th. And we will take care of that following this meeting. There's one condition that needs to be updated. I think it's condition number 3. And then there's also a reference to it in the resolution and a finding. So there's three areas where that needs to be corrected. And so the staff recommendation, again, is to, by resolution, approve the permit amendment to grant a 1-year time extension for the tentative map, and by motion, approve a permit amendment to grant a 1-year time extension for the plan development permit. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dana. Any questions of staff on this particular one? Go, Commissioner Dickerson.
Just a quick one. Could you go back to the rendering of the building? Yeah, that. Do those show the ADUs also, or are those just strictly the original units?
Commissioner Dickerson, the ADUs are located in the rear of the property on these, and so you can see sort of sticking out a little bit here. There's one right
Okay.
here and
Just
one
curious.
back there.
Got it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, any other questions of staff? No? Okay, would the applicant like to say anything about this one in particular?
I'll just add one
Okay.
comment. I just wanted to point out that we have 3 different phases here, and we are looking at multiple different avenues to get 3 of the phases started at close to each other so that we're not dragging this out. And so that would be, some would be for sale, some would be for rent. It's not all for rent. I know that the staff report mentions that. And then one other component I wanted to just clarify, the 20 units per month that we spoke about is specifically on multifamily units. Single-family homes are a lot smaller in terms of absorption. It's different family sizes, different economic factors for that. And so the single-family homes have an absorption rate of about 4 to 5 units a month, a lot less than a multifamily apartment. And especially since those are they're not the same product type. One is a single-family home, one is an apartment. And so those absorption rates blended are somewhere between 12 and 13 units a month if all the units were built at the same time.
All right, thank you. Any other questions for the applicant or staff? No? Okay. And I believe we don't have any public comment, I believe, right, on it? Okay. So with that, return it back to the commission for any additional discussion or motion? No? No? Okay. Do we have a motion or?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion. By resolution, approve permit amendment A 2026-007, granting a 1-year time extension for vesting tentative tract map TR 2023-001 with does this also have the dates that need to be changed? Okay. With the November 16th, 2027 date.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Can we get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Lopez.
Aye.
Commissioner Mohajer.
Aye.
Commissioner Dickerson.
Aye.
Chair Blanco.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, my second motion would be to approve permit amendment A 2026-0015, granting a 1-year time extension for plan development permit PD 2023-002 with the same change of date, November 16th, 2027.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, we have first and a second. Can we get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Lopez.
Aye.
Commissioner Mohajer.
Aye.
Commissioner Dickerson.
Aye.
Chair Blanco.
Aye. Okay, thank you very much. Item 5C is similar except for Blosser Ranch Lot 4 with a time extension. So,
Yes, thank you, Commissioners. So this is a brief presentation to extend both the map and the plan development permit for Lot 4. So Lot 4 is located just to the north of Lots 8 and 10. And this particular tract includes 58 single-family dwellings, and all 58 of the lots were proposed to include an ADU. And same exact road design and exit and entrance off of Western and La Brea as the other tracts that were described. This is the example of the house styles and plans in brown, green, blue, gray color, and white. And then the amenities on this plan are also very similar with the community center and parks and landscaping and sitting areas, barbecue areas. So this Lot 4 was also approved on November 1st, 2023 by the Planning Commission, and the permit expiration date is November 16th of 2026. And so similar to lots 9 and 11, it's to extend it by 1 year to November 16th of 2027 through making the findings that there have been economic factors that justify the additional time. And this Lot 4 also needs to include the amendments to the conditions of approval and the items that I spoke about on the last permit, with the last item to change it to November 16th of 2027. And so the staff recommendation is by resolution, approve the permit amendment to grant the 1-year time extension for the vesting tentative map, including the revision to change the expiration date to November 16th of 2027, and then by motion approve the permit amendment to grant a 1-year time extension for the plan development permit, again with the update to the date, noting it as November 16th of 2027. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dana. Any questions of staff on this one?
I got one more question, but don't worry, it's not for you guys. What is the, I remember, how many times can somebody come forward and ask for a time extension? Was it 3 or 5, or what was it?
Commissioner Dickerson, we actually do not have a limitation any longer on the number of
Oh,
times they can
that's right, it was
request it.
taken away.
So if they don't effectuate these permits within the 1 year, they can come back and ask for another extension and would have to provide the reasoning for the need for the extension so you can make the finding again to grant that.
But they could do it ad infinitum.
Correct.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions, staff? No. Okay. Any comments on this one from the applicant? No? Okay. Okay, thank you. Any questions for the applicant? No? Okay. I don't believe we have any public comment on the item. At least I don't have anything up here, so not seeing anybody. Let's go ahead and close the public hearing and bring it back to the commission for any other comments or questions or a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion. By resolution, approve permit amendment A 2026-0008, granting a 1-year time extension for vesting tentative tract map TR 2023-002 with the November 16th, 2027 date revision. That's my motion.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Can we get a roll call?
Commissioner Lopez,
Aye.
Commissioner Mohajer,
Aye.
Commissioner Dickerson,
Aye.
Chair Blanco.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, my second motion would be to approve permit amendment A 2026-0016, granting a 1-year time extension for plan development permit PD 2023-007 with the November 16th, 2027 date of expiration.
I'll
Do we have a
second.
Okay, we have first and a
Thank you.
second. Can we get a roll call?
Commissioner Lopez,
Aye.
Commissioner Mohajer,
Aye.
Commissioner Dickerson,
Aye.
Chair Blanco.
Aye. Okay, thank you very much. All right. Thank you. Okay, item 5D, the AGS Recycling Collection Center conditional use permit with property location at 1128 West Church Street. And Daisy, can we get a presentation?
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, Planning Commissioners and the public. As stated, tonight's presentation is for a CRV recycling center at 1128 West Church Street. This project was previously presented at a study session on February 19th and April 16th. At the first study session, the public voiced concerns regarding the increase of unsheltered people in the general area, cleanliness and odor, pests and rodents, abandoned shopping carts, alley traffic, alley fires, and an overall increase in crime. Based on public feedback, the commissioners requested staff and the applicant to explore solutions that would mitigate the concerns shared at the study session. At the second study session, a list of solutions to mitigate the concerns brought up by the public was presented. Additional information regarding the solutions agreed upon and conditioned will be summarized in this evening's presentation. The project site is a 0.39 acre lot located at 1128 West Church Street between Russell and Gloucester Road. Adjacent uses include a laundromat, auto repair shops, a local neighborhood market, with some residential units further east on Church Street. The site is zoned commercial manufacturing. The project site sits in a diverse block that includes commercial, industrial, and further to the east residential uses. A recycling center, including outside storage, is listed as a conditional use under the CM zone. This is the street view of the project site from Church Street. The existing 6-foot block wall in the front will remain as is, with the existing rolling gate only open during the scheduled hours of operation. The building's exterior is a tan stucco and with a Spanish tile flat roof. The recycling center is proposing to utilize the existing building as is. By utilizing the existing 1,820 square foot building, the project ensures the majority of the recycling material will be stored indoors. Having indoor storage helps mitigate the inherited noise and odor concerns affiliated with the recycling business. One outdoor storage container will be placed south of the existing building and utilized for glass storage only. The container is 9 feet by 18 feet and 8 feet tall. When the site is open for business, clients will only have access to the recycling center via Church Street. Originally, clients were going to be able to exit the recycling center via the alley, but to minimize community concerns regarding traffic, alley access will not be available to the public. Entrance and exit for the customer will be via Church Street only. The site requires a minimum of 7 parking spaces, and they exceed their parking requirements by providing 20. The conditions of approval will require that the lot be sealed and restriped before operations begin. Per municipal code requirements, a 24-foot wide two-way traffic aisle will also be accommodated within the lot. This ensures there's adequate space for all the parked vehicles to reverse and turn around and safely exit the lot. The site is currently lacking any landscaping, and as a condition of approval, the applicant will reintroduce landscaping and irrigation in the parkway and in the existing 4-foot deep landscape area between the back of sidewalk and the front wall. The Recreation and Parks Department has conditioned that 3 trees be planted within the parkway. The new trees will provide additional screening of the site from the street. The existing stormwater basin on the southwest corner is conditioned to be cleared out of any trash and debris to be operational. The 2 existing roll-up doors will be used as points of entrance for customers to have their recycled materials weighted. Cash payments for the recyclables will be collected in the reception area. The plastic bottles and aluminum cans will be stored in bulk bags in the rear of the building. The storage space is approximately 1,000 square feet. No processing will happen on site. Instead, the bulk bags will be taken to their processing center in Arroyo Grande 2 times per week. The proposed hours of operation are Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. As a condition of approval, the applicant will be required to post the hours of operation in a high visibility area. In addition, AGS Recycling has a zero tolerance policy for loitering, refusing service to anyone who refuses to comply with the site rules. The site will be conditioned to be CalRecycle certified and in compliance with the California Beverage Container Recycling and Litter Reduction Act. The California Beverage Container Recycling and Litter Reduction Act requires CalRecycle to identify convenience zones, which are areas within a half-mile radius around most supermarkets. Every convenience zone that is not specifically exempted by CalRecycle must have a certified recycling center in this zone, or each dealer within its boundaries that sells beverages must either redeem containers within the store or make a daily payment to the state. The project site is considered a convenience zone given it is less than half a mile from the Walmart Neighborhood Market on Blosser Road. Although the act does not preempt local zoning regulation of recycling centers, it does contain language urging cities to act favorable on the sitting of recycling materials to reduce litter and increase recycling efforts across the state. Currently, there are no CRV recycling centers within the city limits. The nearest recycling centers serving constituents of Santa Maria are located in Guadalupe, Orchid, and unincorporated Santa Barbara County. The applicant has provided a petition signed by 299 Santa Maria residents in support of a recycling center in the city. AGS Recycling Center currently operates in Orchid, Guadalupe, unincorporated Arroyo Grande, and Morro Bay. The unincorporated Arroyo Grande and Morro Bay locations abut single-family residential zones, and the Guadalupe facility abuts a multifamily residential zone. Other than the Arroyo Grande location, the other AGS recycling centers are in the parking lots of grocery stores. The proposed project for Santa Maria will be unique by being on its own walled and gated lot and within the walls of an existing permanent structure. Staff has spoken to the code enforcement divisions of each of the cities that host an AGS recycling center, and none of the cities have active code enforcement cases, or for that matter, have any recorded complaint about the recycling center since their opening. Additionally, the property owner of Spencer's Fresh Market, who leases the applicant's space in Orchid and Morro Bay, has provided a letter of support indicating the applicant has proven to be well-managed and a responsible tenant. Copies of the letters were emailed to the commissioners and are also available online. Increase of the unsheltered population roaming the project area was a concern that was brought up at the study sessions. City records indicate that there have been no unsheltered encampment abatement operations in the project block or adjacent blocks in the last 2 years. The high number of abatement operations, as seen by the large orange circles, correlate to the areas adjacent to the train tracks marked by the blue dashed line. To address the concerns, the applicant has agreed to follow the guidelines outlined by the Santa Maria Police Department and Code Enforcement Division in the Homeless and Your Business handout, including posting no trespassing signs, reporting the abandoned shopping carts to the city, keeping the dumpster and outdoor storage container locked when not in business, installing motion-activated exterior lighting, and maintaining the site landscaping to eliminate any hiding places. A concern with the alley fires was brought up at the first study session. However, since most of the project site storage will be kept indoors and flammable items will not be stored on site, staff has no reason to believe the proposed project will increase fire incidents in the area. We have confirmed with emergency services that in the span of the last 2 years, this block has had a total of 13 calls for either a medical or fire incident. To address the additional concerns that were shared at the study session, the applicant has agreed to power wash the site twice a week, hire an exterminating company to perform monthly service, close public access to the alley from the project lot, and contract with a security company to provide surveillance cameras with sensors. Code enforcement information pamphlets have been made available on the table at the rear of the room. The pamphlets include examples of code enforcement violations and provide instructions on how to file a report. The public is welcome to take one home. This project qualifies as a Class 1 categorical exemption pursuant to Section 15301, existing facilities of the California Environmental Quality Act, since the project site is built out and will have no alterations. No further environmental review is required. There has been two conditions that have been added by the Public Works Department. Main things to note will be the project is being conditioned to have a trash enclosure service from the alley, and the stormwater basin shall be cleared out and operational. At this time, staff recommends that the Planning Commission approve conditional use permit U 2025-0015, including the addition of the Public Works Department conditions labeled multifamily and commercial industrial facilities and stormwater basin as presented in the previous slide. Thank you for your time. This concludes my presentation. In attendance is also the applicant, Mr. Arroyo. Please let us know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Daisy. I guess first of all, let me ask if there's any ex parte communication on this. No? Okay. Any questions of staff? Commissioner Dickerson.
Just a quick one. What's the business behind them that's on the opposite side of the alley? Or I'm assuming that is a business?
Commissioner, you said abutting the alley?
Yeah, across the alley from them.
Those are two car repair shops.
Okay, so if they have motion-censored lights, it shouldn't disturb residents sleeping or anything along that line? Okay.
It shouldn't. There isn't any residents up until further down east on the block.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that was my only question.
Any other questions, Commissioner Mahajer?
Thank you, Chair. So my question is, if the applicant doesn't maintain the conditions as promised, does the city have any recourse once we start receiving complaints? What does that look like?
Commissioner Mohajer, so if the conditions are not being complied with and we receive a complaint related to that, then the first thing we would do in the planning division is to contact the applicant and discuss the issue with them and ask them to comply with that. If they were not going to comply with that, then we would refer it to code enforcement as the next step. There's also, if there was some sort of operational reason why they couldn't comply with a condition, there's also the option of bringing the permit back here to the Planning Commission to be amended and looked at again. There's also revoking the permit, but there's a whole process to go through that, and we want to avoid that, to the maximum extent feasible. It's best, I think, to work with applicants to address the concerns and take care of any potential violations.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Commissioner Lopez.
Thank you. When the facility's closed for lunch, are the gates locked and nobody's allowed to come in and park there? Or, and if it is locked, do they queue on the street? How does that work?
Commissioner, I'll let the applicant answer that question. Mr. Arroyo, if you'd like to come to the podium, please.
Yeah, come on up. If you could say your name and address as well.
Yes, my name is Edgar Arroyo. My address is 1552 Camino Caballo, Nipomo. To answer your question, the gate is going to be open. They're going to be parked there for a half hour. And after that, we can just do the process.
Okay. And then my second question is, I think Daisy mentioned that you have to put in a city-required dumpster, right? That was a Public Works requirement?
Commissioner Lopez.
I just got that email.
Sorry, I can answer that.
Okay.
I'm Zoe Glick, Senior Civil Engineer with Public Works Department. Yes, Commissioner Lopez, we added in that condition to put in the dumpster after speaking with our Utilities Department.
Where would it go?
It would face the alley. It would be serviced through the alley.
But on site, is it underneath the metal canopy or is it adjacent to the?
It would be, is it, sorry, Daisy, do you have the photo that showed where that metal canopy was originally? It was closer to the alley. Where is that? That is southeast, or the top right corner if you're looking at this, this exhibit right here.
Oh, shoot.
So it'd be underneath the canopy?
No, it would not be placed underneath the canopy. It would have, our standard structure would be, yes.
Commissioners, if I may, the plans do call out that metal canopy to be demolished. So it will not be there at time of operation.
So it will not be under, yeah, it will not be under that metal canopy. It just will be in that general, on that exhibit, that general location where that metal canopy was shown. That's where the trash enclosure would be placed.
And it's the typical, what is it, MS?
MS-16B, yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? No? Okay. The applicant, would you like to say anything else or any comments or?
No, I'm here just to answer any questions.
Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's open it up to the public if there's any public comment. I don't have any slips, but if there are any public comments, we're willing to take any other comments. Just come on up. I see people getting up. I'm not sure if that's, maybe we have one. Okay.
Hello, I'm Javier Hernandez. I manage the business at 218 South Blosser Road, and I just still have concerns about the transient and the increased traffic, and the fact that the police, when we called them last Tuesday, it took them about 6 hours to respond to an incident that happened in front of our business. Plus, we still are picking up all the trash and making our side look nice. And my biggest concern is, what is this going to do to the area overall? And with the response time that the police department had with that one incident, because it wasn't just myself that called, it was multiple businesses that called for this incident, and they ended up, since the trash cans are put out on Tuesday for Wednesday pickup, all of Cypress Street was just littered with trash. That unfortunately transients just went through the trash and left trash everywhere, and we were responsible for picking up pretty much everything. And when we did call the police, like I said, the response time was, we called at 9, they came at 3 o'clock to do the incident report. So, plus, same thing, we have trash, we have, in front of our property, we have a water basin too. And right there, we had transients unfortunately leave shopping carts with trash on property. Aside from that, I had another incident that happened where they came in, they pretty much destroyed the lights for the flag that we have at our lot. And same thing, the police, they came the next day, did the incident report. They said, submit it to your insurance. So we're already having a problem with transients, and this is just going to add to that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the public? Maybe, oh, we have some more slips, okay. Okay, we have a few speakers here. Let's start with Yesenia Mendoza. Okay. State your name and address and 3 minutes max, please.
Okay, my name is Yesenia Mendoza. I'm at 515 East Church. I'm in favor of the proposal of Mr. Arroyo because we do need a recycling centers local on the area. All the other recycling centers are there just two on the corner. And I think that we also have to understand that as a property owner, as the other businesses, he has the right, as the other businesses, to operate whatever project he has. And as the owner, we do need to respect that. I'm in favor of the proposal because I can see a lot of things positive, which is going to make the community have a more accessible recycle center. It's going to have a cleaner Santa Maria because people are going to kind of see the bottles thrown on the streets as money and pick it up, have a local place to take it. It's basically indoors. So I see a lot. I've been to their recycling centers, and I think they have a wonderful staff. They are clean. There's a lot of good comments of them. I think we should take the time to review all those good comments that they're at the internet, and that's the reason I'm in favor of them, to have a local recycling center. I wish we can have it pretty soon. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Santiago Trascala? Santiago? These are all in favor, by the way. We've got.
Buenas tardes. Yo hablo español, no hablo inglés. Bueno, pues mi nombre es Santiago Tlaxcala y tengo un trabajo como diría independiente. Trabajo yo vendiendo, soy un vendedor ambulante, como vendiendo en las calles con una bicicleta y vendo pues cosas de ice cream y todo eso, paletas. Entonces lo que tengo entendido aquí que quieren abrir un acopio de reciclaje. Entonces en mi punto de vista pues es un beneficio para todo Santa María, por el motivo de que muchos hispanos, muchas personas que no tenemos un transporte independiente y pues no podemos ir a un lugar más retiradito. Nos dificulta mucho pues para hacer esas actividades, pero pues en mi punto de vista que están diciendo que quieren abrir un centro de acopio, como digo, vuelvo a repetir, en ese punto pues la verdad nos beneficia mucho a muchas personas aquí de Santa María. El motivo nos facilita pues más que nada. También diría pues también es un beneficio para toda Santa María porque el motivo es para mantener limpio a la ciudadanía, ¿no? Porque hay veces el reciclaje y todo eso, botes, aluminio, vidrio, lo echamos en donde va la basura, entonces también eso lo lleva pues a un carro pues que lo lleva al basurero y pues hay veces, quiera uno o no, pero hace una contaminación tanto al planeta, nos diría lo queman o lo tiran o lo entierran, pero de todos modos contaminamos pues la tierra o sea ¿qué diría? Hacemos una contaminación pues más que nada y en mi punto de vista al ir a venderlo pues es un beneficio para mantener limpio y aparte de eso de lo que compramos nosotros pagamos impuestos y ya recuperamos poquito de lo que sea. Gracias.
Okay, muchas gracias.
Yeah.
Thank you. If I may quickly summarize what he said, Daisy, or do you want to summarize that? Go ahead, Daisy.
Okay. Sure. So the gentleman introduced himself, let us know that he has an independent job and is a sidewalk vendor, particularly sells ice cream. From his point of view, a recycling center is a benefit for the city He notes that oftentimes the Hispanic community in the city does not have reliable transportation to travel to these other centers on the outskirts of Santa Maria. And so having a local center would be very beneficial, and as it makes it easy and convenient for residents of the city. He does state that the recycling center would also help keep the city clean, as it helps recycling materials stay out of the landfill by promoting recycling. And so in his point of view, the center will be beneficial for the entire city and also provides an economic benefit for those who choose to recycle their goods.
That was perfect. Thank you, Daisy. Okay, next speaker. And if you have similar comments, if you can keep it pretty short, that would be great. We do have several more, but 3 minutes maximum, please. Luis Ramirez?
Good afternoon. My name is Luis Ramirez, 821 West Cook Street, my address. I've been working in this company for 6 years already, in all our sites. I started working in Guadalupe. You can go there. We have a liquor. There's a business there. We don't have a problem with trash. We have a dumpster there. We share with the liquor store. I also work in the yard, our main yard in Arroyo Grande. Been there for about 8 months. We don't have an issue there with the residents about the trash, about the homeless either. I've been working in Morro Bay, 3 years already that I work in Morro Bay. It's just across the street from residential areas. I never had an issue with any of the residential persons that live there, any of the residents, regarding mice, any kind of smells, or any kind of contamination about trash. We try to keep it clean, that's what we come here for, to keep it clean, keep the city clean, not to provoke more trash. And there's another issue about the homeless. We work with them. Basically, they're the people that pick up most of the trash out of our community, to be honest with you. So they come to recycle, they get their money, they leave. We don't have homeless in our sites. They come, or their business is welcome in our site. After that, they got to leave. That's it. That's all we deal with. That's the way we deal with homeless. They come, sell their CRV, get their money, and 2 minutes after that, they're gone. About trash, we never had an issue. Never. Probably about a complaint, but I deal with that normally. I'm the general manager of all the stores. And in Orchid, we don't have no trash there. And we work with Spencer's and Orchid, and we never had an issue with the owner of Spencer's either, or with the customers of Spencer's. So about the trash, that's what I have to say. About the homeless, that's what I have to say. They come, they get served, they leave with their money in their hand, and that's it. Any questions? If you guys have any questions, I can answer any questions for you guys.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, appreciate that. Oh, maybe one question. Go ahead.
Just to clarify, you guys don't take glass, right?
Yes, we do.
You do?
Everything the CRV we take, glass, aluminum, and plastics.
Oh, okay.
I believe that's a separate container that they have.
But we have a
outside.
separate container for glass.
Yeah, the
No.
outdoors.
I thought there was no glass at this facility. Okay,
Yes,
I
we do.
might be wrong. Okay,
But we always have a separate container just for that.
okay.
It's not with, or plastic or aluminum. Plastic and aluminum is stored in the big blue bags, cotton bags, and the glass is stored in containers,
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
metal containers to be exact.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next speaker, Eduardo Arredondo.
Hi, my name is Eduardo, and I live in 402 Edward Street, Santa Maria, California. And regardless to the glass, we have to take it to CRB. If that was one of his questions, he
Okay.
said we do take it. And also, I work in the Orchid one, and we try to be as fast as we can. So sometimes I don't know if you guys will recycle or not, but we try to keep it fast and efficient for customers. We don't like customers to be at least probably 10 minutes max, even though if there's a line, we try to get them out because, customers don't want to be there for a lot of time, just do what they have to do, get their money, and leave. And also, if we see trash, even though it's not, we just pick it up, make it our trash, and try to, make it clean.
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Luis Navarro.
¿Me podrías traducir? Mi nombre es Luis Navarro, soy encargado de la tienda de Guadalupe y mi punto de vista es la mayoría de los clientes que yo tengo vienen de Santa María. No tengo ningún problema con homeless, no hay basura, tratamos de tener todo limpio. El vidrio va todo en los contenedores. Pues tratamos de dar un buen servicio a los clientes. Sería todo.
Gracias, thank you. Daisy, you want to translate that?
Yes,
Thank you.
Chair. His name is Luis Navarro. He manages the AGS Recycling Center in Guadalupe. The majority of his clients are from the city of Santa Maria, and currently at the Guadalupe Recycling Center, they do not have any issues with homeless, and they try to keep their center clean, and glass is always properly stored in the containers, the appropriate containers.
Thank you for that. Okay, two more speaker slips here. Jorge Aguilar.
Mi nombre es Jorge Aguilar y yo trabajo en la tienda de Motorway. Referente a lo que dijo la otra persona, porque yo entiendo inglés y hablo poco inglés, pero quiero hablar español para que me entiendan bien. Referente a eso, en la otra junta anterior, alguien se quejó que la policía no llegaba a pronto y la otra persona dijo que ese es problema de la policía, no es problema del reciclaje. Aparte nosotros, como trabajadores de ahí, si miramos algo mal o algo, no aceptamos a los clientes así. Los homeless son los que más respetan a uno y son los que más llegan, son más buenas gentes, porque ellos quieren que le pague uno su dinero y irse, es lo que quieren ellos. Ahorita el punto que está tocando el señor, que la policía no llega rápido, en cualquier parte pasa eso. Especialmente, como dijo la otra persona en la otra junta anterior, ese problema lo tiene la ciudad, no lo tiene el reciclaje. El reciclaje no va a traer más crimen, no va a traer más cosas, más robos. Al contrario, ellos van a agarrar su dinero y se van a retirar de ahí. ¿Por qué? Porque no quieren que nosotros los corramos del reciclaje para no comprarles, porque ellos quieren su dinero. Entre más cerca esté el reciclaje, está mejor para ellos. Agarran su dinero y se van. No van a querer tener problemas alrededor, ni dejar basura ni nada, porque si no, nosotros ya no les negamos el servicio y ellos agarran su dinero y se van. Eso es todo lo que tengo que decir.
Okay, muchas gracias. Thank you. Daisy, you're doing double duty today. Great job,
no
though.
problem.
Doing great.
His name is Jorge Aguilar, and he works at the Morro Bay location. He did share that at the previous study sessions, there was concerns that were voiced regarding the police department's time response. And he does want to highlight that all cities have these issues, and at the end of the day, the response time is not the fault or issue of the recycling center, but of the city as a whole. He does want to highlight that the homeless population is often the most respectful clients that they serve, because this population wants to make sure that they continue to have access to those monetary funds, and they recognize that if they are loitering or lingering or trashing the place, that they might lose access to being able to cash in the recyclables in exchange for cash.
Thank you, Daisy. Last speaker I have here, I think it's Miguel Hernandez. Is that right? Yeah, okay.
Sorry, I'm a little under the weather, but all right. So what everybody fails to highlight here is that, all right, so my address is 1017 La Serena Way in Nipomo, but I also own 1125 West Church, which is a residential house. I'm a landlord. Okay, so, and it's directly across the street from where they're trying to put their recycling center, right? Everything sounds so good. Everything sounds so good. Cool. How far is Bedford from 1125 West Church? Less than, like probably a mile and a half. That's not outside city limits. You guys got to realize that. Like, it's not, like the recycling centers are not outside of city limits. They're very close. Everything is very close. If you look at it, it's directly down the street from the police department, like right there. So I don't know how anybody is justifying that. And like I'm saying, I am concerned for my residents because I know how it is right there in that area. It's already conflicted. It's already compacted. There was already another business there, you know, that we've had complaints about too. There's already a lot of stuff going on right there. Police response obviously is not the city's problem or whatever, but like you guys got to understand, like it's a big deal. And like everybody's trying to paint it all pretty and stuff, like yeah, like oh yeah, but you guys don't like I know recycling centers like with the CRV, it smells very bad. And that whole, like you guys highlighted like where the area was, but you guys did not look, it's a residential area as well as a commercial area. So you guys need to think about that too, you know? Like the shops and stuff, they make noise and all this stuff. And I get that, you know, they gotta work. But what I'm saying is a recycling center it's a big smell. And I understand that. And like, I get it. They're trying to paint it in a good light and say like, oh, that's not, and the transients are good and stuff like that. But with my experience with transients, it's not been like that because there's obviously some mental health stuff going on. And I understand, I'm not trying to, you know, like badmouth anybody, but I'm saying like, hey, transients have a problem. And when they come, and if they're in your neighborhood, when they come to your neighborhood, it's something different. Like it's something different because they're not, you know, obviously they're not right. So not right, not, and I'm saying mentally. So they cause problems. And like I'm saying, directly across the street, there's a residential home there. So you guys want to put, you know, we have problems right there. We already have problems with theft, break-ins, stuff like that. And you guys want to put this and add more to that? And like I said, I mean, I'm a landlord, so I have to think about my residents too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that was the last of the speakers. Let's go ahead and close the public hearing and bring it back to the commission for any further questions or discussion or motions.
Can I see the overhead again of the street?
I'm sorry, Commissioner, can you repeat that?
Overhead of the street, please. So where does the residential, obviously there's something right across the street, but where's the residential start? Or where's it at? Maybe you can show us the zoning map there.
There we go. So I believe the residence the gentleman is referring to is possibly this one. It is zoned commercial manufacturing, and if there is a residence there at this point, it would probably legal non-conforming.
So in essence, the residence that the gentleman is talking about shouldn't even be a residence there? Is that what you're saying?
I'm sorry, Commissioner, can you speak a little louder?
I'm sorry. That the residence that's there shouldn't actually even be a residence there? Is that what you're saying?
Commissioner Dickerson, so what we have up here is the zoning designations map, and so everything that's in the gray is an industrial zone.
Thank you.
Some of those lots that have residential units on them, they're not, the site's not zoned for it, but it's probable that those residential units have been there for a very long time, probably even maybe before it was zoned industrial. So what we say is that it's legal non-conforming to the zoning. So the residential uses cannot be expanded there. It can remain a residential use, but it can't be expanded or changed to additional units. Anything that's built there in the future has to conform to the zoning.
Are you aware of any other non-conforming residential in those gray areas?
There are a few. We were just looking at a map again to confirm, and there are a few. I think we don't have a street view in this presentation to show you, but there are about, I think, at least 2 units across the street from this. The ones that are adjacent are industrial, so the ones that are to the east of the proposed site.
So ideally, in the city's mind, at some point down the road, it would be hoped that at some point that those residential end up transitioning to industrial of some kind. It's kind of a waiting game. You just have to wait it out for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
The zoning that is residential is in that kind of yellow-orange color. That's where the residential zoning actually starts.
That's
and
what I
then the
thought.
red
Okay.
color is general commercial, or C2. That's to the west there.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, any other questions? No? Or discussion? Motions? Commissioner Lopez?
No, one of the things that I was concerned with at the last study session was just the queuing of traffic. If you're southbound on Blosser going east and turning left going east on Church, you're going to have to wait if there's cars coming from the opposite side, west on Church. And, how does that queuing work, especially if there's cars that are parked trying to back out, cars that are trying to go in? That was one of the things I was hoping to get clarified before this meeting. And it's kind of hard to see how it would really work because those parking spaces are so deep. You can see in the overhead plan they're 2 cars deep before you get to the drive aisle. So I'm just wondering how internally it works and whether or not opening it to the alley would have been the better route. I don't have an answer. I was just curious about that. How does everything stack in the streets, especially if you have one ingress and egress?
Hi, Commissioner Lopez. I'm just going to speak up here. Specifically for this site, I just wanted to point out we did not require a traffic study just because the peak hour trip generation for this specific use is below our threshold, but I did take a look. It's about 18 peak hour trips. I believe the previous use was a mechanic shop and auto repair shop, and that the peak hour trips for that is about 6. So that is an increase of 12 per hour. In perspective, that's about an additional car every 5 minutes. So Public Works was not overly concerned with the peak hour trips that are going to be generated by this use. And I think Daisy also mentioned they have additional over parking. I can't remember their exact requirement, if you want to say that, Daisy, but I would assume the intention would be to allow them to park and either wait, or they can also park off on the sidewalk if they are not able to quickly service their customers.
Thank you.
And Commissioner Lopez, they are overparked by 14 spaces.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Commissioner Mohajer?
Thank you, Chair. I wasn't at the study session for this one, but what was the thought with closing off the alley? Was that because of the homeless? Were we mitigating anything there?
Commissioner Mohajer, at the first study session, the owners that have businesses that also abut that alley mentioned that having the general public using the alley as a way of egress would affect their businesses and the traffic and deliveries of their businesses that use the alley. So therefore, the applicant agreed to close public access for his customers from using the alley.
Okay. And then the peak hour trips, is that based on the other businesses that they have, that the applicant has?
Sorry, can you just repeat your question one more time?
The peak hour trips that you're using, is that based on the other business locations that they have, or?
The peak hour trips that I was referring to, the 18 is for specifically a recycling center.
A recycling center?
Yeah, and then the other trip generation number I was referring to was for an automotive shop.
Okay, thank you for that
Just showing
clarity.
that difference.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions or discussion? Commissioner Dickerson, any?
Yeah, I have a discussion, and I'm not going to punctuate at the end with making a motion. I just want to put my thoughts out there. This has been a really tough, this is a tough business to put in there, and it's a tough decision on our part. We are trying to weigh the community that's in and around this area with the need that we have for this business, for this type of business. Sometimes good businesses and the needs of good businesses in a community you still end up in that it's the right business in the wrong place. I'm not saying that's the case with this. I'm incredibly torn on this. I do note that something that Commissioner Seifert said at the previous study session, and that's that it sounds that there a great many of the concerns are not concerns that necessarily should be laid on the doorstep of this particular business. The turnaround time for calls to the police, for them to come out and deal with issues, seemed egregious, at least anecdotally, seemed egregious when we heard them in the study sessions, and it doesn't sound like it's gotten any better. So I'm not quite sure what this business would end up, how it would increase or mitigate that. It's not their fault. That's on us. That's on the city. So whether it would actually attract more homeless or not seems to be a crux issue. And honestly, I'm not sure that it even would do that. I mean, other than they filter in, then they leave. And I guess the argument would be that they don't leave by going very far away. They go to the park or whatever. I would find it very difficult to live on that street by what we've heard being said, and it would frustrate me if I expressed my concerns and this thing still moved forward, and then everything that I had said and others had said came to pass, that more homeless showed up, and instead of leaving the neighborhood, they stuck around, and some of them misbehaved, dumping over trash, and we heard about human fecal matter and things along that line. It's a tough one. it's a tough one. I'm not sure if we can blame this business, but on the other hand, I'm not sure that we can say categorically that it won't happen if we did approve it. So I don't know. I'd be curious to hear what the other commissioners have to say.
Any other comments or? Commissioner? Go ahead, Commissioner Lopez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, initially, I think our first study session, my concern was intensifying the use in this area. I did realize it's a hodgepodge of older parcels that were at one point county, I think, county parcels, or was that part of the original 4 square miles to Blosser? Okay, well, you know, to intensify the use, I was on the commission when the what was it? When SA Recycling tried to go in at Rudy's auto dismantling over here at Fessler and Railroad or Depot, whatever street that was. The biggest difference was that was actually a processing facility that they were trying to get in there. Here, it's a little different. They are just dropping off cans and just recyclables to be processed, I guess, in the Arroyo Grande location. So I agree with Commissioner Dickerson. This is a tough one. And maybe one thing that I wanted to find out, and maybe I can ask the operator, when somebody arrives on site, how many people are there to take the recyclables? Is it just one counter? Are there multiple counters? What is it, one or multiple?
Yes, we have multiple people on site, one paying and 2 other helping customers. So it would take like 3 to 4 minutes to get them out. So it's just a turnaround within minutes. It won't take 10 minutes, and usually cars won't be parked for 10 minutes, and it just traffic is not that bad like that. He'll be the one. He's been in all my sites, so he's the right person to ask those questions. But usually customers, we help them, 3 minute, 4 minute, because we got employees on site.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think he's the right guy to ask those questions.
No, I was just curious. So if I go on site, take the stuff out of the back of my truck or the trunk, walk it to the counter across the drive aisle, there's more than one service counter to help me out.
Yes.
And then you go to a different counter to be paid, or you're paid there?
They just weigh your material, you go and get paid, and that's it.
Okay. So that helps me kind of mentally picture how that happens. Because I am concerned about traffic stacking and then losing that secondary egress egress, because you're backing up into traffic. If there's cars that are there, they're backing out into the street. Because if you had, how many people signed your petition?
299.
Okay, so say a quarter of those go to your place on a weekend. I mean, that's a lot of cars.
Yeah,
right?
on weekends, yes, we get tons of cars, but at the same time, I got 5 people working there, and that's the main reason I want to open another one, because we got so many customers complaining, and just why there's no more recycle centers in the city. So that's the main reason. And like I said, customers have all the stuff separated, and it won't take us 3-4 minutes to just get them out. Yes.
And I do appreciate you accepting the conditions that were the special conditions for maintenance measures.
Oh, yes.
That, and I get, like Commissioner Dickerson mentioned, having the homeless wait around outside or nearby. I get it, but I don't know if it's something you can really do to remove them from the block or what have you. So it's a tough one, but thank you for clarifying how it works. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. Commissioner Mahajer.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I have to agree. This one is a tough one. I think that on balance, this is another recycle center for the city, and the residents clearly want something nearby that they can actually just walk to versus going to the edge of the city parts. But then again, I also feel for the residents that are residing there. Even though it is industrial, they were grandfathered in, so they're still dealing with the surrounding uses and their concern of like loitering and the homeless. I can see how that would intensify the area, so that's something that is worth considering. But I do also appreciate the applicant's flexibility with terms of maintaining the premises and trying to mitigate measures where he can. So definitely taking all those things into consideration. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. From my standpoint, I like what a lot of the speakers said tonight, and obviously they've gotten some good testimonial support from other residents, nearby residents, and even other businesses. Basically commending them for how good they've run their other businesses, so that's really good. The issue of the homeless being there and the response times by city police, I mean, I don't know that we can predict what will happen in this scenario, and I don't think we can attribute an increase necessarily to this business. I mean, I don't know how we're going to factor that in into the decision. And I do appreciate the flexibility of the applicant being willing to take on some of these conditions and being held to those conditions for the permit. Sorry, you're done. Thank you, you're done. There's no guarantee, of course. But I believe that the applicant is doing whatever they can. We've heard a lot from them too, to mitigate those issues, right? I mean, I think they're willing to do whatever they have to do to provide a service. It's a business, but they're also providing a service. And we're hearing that the service is going to be beneficial. I do think it'll probably help clean things up, I mean, otherwise things are just going to be, in a landfill or in our streams or in our storm drains. So to that degree, I think that will be helpful. Is it ideal? Is it perfect for the people living down the street? Is there going to be traffic impacts? Perhaps. But, we can't pin all of that on this applicant. It's not their burden to address all of those issues, I don't believe. So, it's not an easy one. I'm glad we put a lot of thought into it, and I think the applicant did a very good job. And we hear the concerns of other residents. We take those into consideration, but we have to weigh out the pros and the cons of all projects. So that's what we have to do when we make a decision. So. With that, I'll turn it back over to go ahead, Commissioner Lopez.
Just going from the first study session to now. First study session, we had, the majority of the speakers were in opposition. I think at the second study session, I think hearing out what the applicant was willing to do, what tools the city had to hold this project to those conditions, I think it appeased a lot of the residents that were initially against it. And now today, I don't, other than one person, there's really not really been anybody to oppose this. So it just, I don't know if it's, I don't know, it seems like it became a lot better of a project since we've gone through these two study sessions. I'm just throwing that out there, just because to me it seems like it's a little bit more palatable.
Commissioner Dickerson?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it has become a better project, and we've got a few more oversights than we did. But it's funny, I was talking to Commissioner Seifert about this, and after the second study session, and both of us thought it was a really peculiar dynamic, because you're right, at the very first session, We had a lot of people against this thing. A lot of people, and they were lawyered up. I mean, there was an attorney there representing others who hadn't shown up. In the second study session, you didn't see any of those people or the attorney. I have no idea what happened from one study session to the other, but that was a peculiar dynamic. It really was. And of course, you don't see that attorney or any of his people here today. So I don't know what happened there, but that was an odd switch to turn on and off. That's
Any other further discussion? No? Okay. Anybody have a motion they want to put out? No? Well, I'll make a motion. If nobody else will, I move that we approve conditional use permit U 2025-0015 as conditioned.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Can we get a roll call, please, Kathleen?
Chair Blanco,
Aye.
Commissioner Lopez.
Aye.
Commissioner Dickerson,
No.
Commissioner Mohajer.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you very much. I don't know. All right. Thank you very much. So on to item 5E. I believe we have a conflict. Commissioner Lopez has a conflict on item 5E, so he'll be recusing.
Mr. Chairman, I own property near the 920 West Main Street location, so I will be recusing myself from this item.
Okay, thank you.
Leave your laptop, yes.
We'll take a quick moment to let Commissioner Lopez exit. I think he's going to leave his computer. With the bag and everything?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you leave it there? Yeah, we'll take care of it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner
You want me
Lopez.
to wait outside, or do we?
Did you want to stay and come back? Or you don't have to stay if you don't want to.
Okay.
I don't think so, no. Thank you,
So
Commissioner.
tomorrow's our study session?
Study session tomorrow.
Okay.
Are we in the moon room?
Yes,
Moon room.
Oh, in the moon room?
room.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on to the final item,
Mark.
5E.
Might want to open that door, Heather.
Oh,
won't be able to
sorry.
get in.
I just realized, yeah, we closed her out. She might have gone to the restroom. Yeah, okay, all right, well, we'll take a brief pause then. Wait for Heather.
sits on the north side of the city, and if approved, this site would serve as their second location. The project was previously presented at a study session on May 7th, and at this meeting, commissioners asked staff and the applicant questions regarding the overall operations of the business, including hours of operation, storage locations, landscaping requirements, parking, lighting, and security of the property. Overall, the commission did not have any significant concerns with the project. The proposed project location is south of Main Street, east of Oakley Street, north of Church Street, and east of Western Street. The .17 acre lot includes an existing 2,801 square foot building with access from Main Street and the alley. To the east of the lot, there's an animal hospital. To the west, there's an auto repair shop, and across the alley to the south is an apartment building. The lot is zoned Plan Development General Commercial. In the C2 zone, automobile-oriented service establishments such as brake repair shops and muffler shops specifically appear on the list of permitted uses. More intensive auto uses such as body and fender shops and this use, tire sales and service, are specifically listed as being subject to conditional use permit approval. This is to ensure that no outdoor storage occurs, all work occurs within the building, and that the proposed facility is compatible with adjacent land uses. This is the lot view from Main Street. The building is painted white and blue and is predominantly stucco. It includes 2 roll-up doors. The building was constructed to support automotive uses, and the site was previously used as an auto shop. The applicant plans to leave the exterior of the building as is. Outdoor lighting in line with the city's municipal code will be installed to deter pedestrian and vehicular traffic after hours, and the proposed hours of operation are Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. This is the view facing west on the alley. The project lot is behind the block wall and wrought iron fence. Alley usage will be kept to a minimum as only staff will be utilizing the parking in the rear of the lot. The Department of Public Works has conditioned that the alley abutting the project site be paved. Standard modifications are proposed for the site. The parking lot will be reconfigured to meet ADA requirements, and landscaping will be re-added to the existing planter and parkway. 6 parking spaces are conditioned for the site. 5 spaces will be made available in the front of the lot for customers, and additional parking spaces will be made available for staff in the existing paved area in the rear of the lot. The site will be staffed with 2 employees per shift. The parkway currently has 1 city tree, and the applicant has been conditioned by the Department of Recreation and Parks to plant a 2nd tree. The applicant will also be conditioned to reinstall landscaping and an irrigation system in the planter area located in the front of the lot. To minimize noise impacts to the residency across the alley, as seen on the previous slide, all work is conditioned to be completed indoors. In addition, the project has been conditioned to have no outdoor storage or display of merchandise outdoors. The building includes 2 work bays in the front of the building, an office, bathroom, and tire racks across the east and west wall. Per the fire department conditions, a minimum of 24 inches shall be provided between the tire storage and the ceiling for a non-sprinklered building. Used tires will be temporarily placed inside the existing building, and the project is conditioned to conduct weekly trips to the landfill to dispose of the used tires. This project qualifies as a Class 1 categorical exemption pursuant to Section 15301 existing facilities of the CEQA guidelines, since the project site is built out and no alterations will be made. No further environmental review is required. At this time, staff recommends that the Planning Commission approve conditional use permit U 2026-0001 as conditioned. This concludes my presentation. Thank you for your time. The applicant, Mr. Maxwell, and property owner, Mr. Figueroa, are also present for any questions.
All right, thank you, Daisy. Do we have any ex parte communication on this matter? No? Okay. Questions for staff? Commissioner Dickerson.
Yeah, that rear parking area, I didn't notice any striping for spaces or anything along that line. I mean, do you guys have an idea of how many people should be able to park there, or in the rear by the alley?
So at the moment, they are required to provide just one additional parking space. However, at the study session, it was mentioned that we could probably fit more than one parking space in there. That is something that will be reviewed during the building permit phase to make sure that the stalls are adequate in size and that there's the proper turnaround to get them in and out of that rear lot.
And the number of employees, et cetera?
They currently have 2 employees scheduled.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
Commissioner Mohajer.
Thank you. I'm not sure if we touched base on this at the study session, but how many times do you get deliveries of products? I guess it would be the applicant question, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we get
I'm a little rusty.
one delivery once a day at 11.
Once a day?
That's it.
And then was that going to be through the back or through the front?
It'd probably be right to the front because the alley is like real tight and small. Maybe, I mean, unless we have to make it through the back.
Okay. Well, I was just depending if it was like excessive deliveries, but they're tires, so.
Yeah, it's real quick, roll them out, sign the paper, and they're gone.
Okay, thanks so much.
Sorry, on the question of the deliveries, what size truck do you guys expect for deliveries? Is it a big?
It's a little one, like a 16-footer box
16-footer?
Yeah.
Okay. And wouldn't have any issues in the front making a turn and exiting? Or how would it leave? Because it looks like it's a little bit tight, so.
He could pull right in, unload them, like in one of the parking spots, or right up to the bay, or back in, flip it around. He can even park on the street, whatever's easiest for him. But he's only there for a few minutes because he's got a couple deliveries. He's literally there for a few minutes. We sign a piece of paper, and he takes off.
And the deliveries they're not large deliveries then, it might be.
Probably the first one will be big to put them in there, and then after that it'll be, 8 every other day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's real
All right.
quick.
They're not large deliveries of.
No.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Any other questions, Commissioner Dickerson?
No, I was just going to make a comment. I'm familiar with that area, and I know that there's a median strip there too, and so a lot of deliveries park in that. And then basically, cart their stuff wherever it is they're going to be
From
going.
there?
I see
Okay.
18-wheelers in there all the time.
Got it. Okay. Out on Main Street. Okay. Question on the back part. That's just going to be open concrete area that they may stripe for parking, or may not, but.
They will be conditioned to stripe for parking, but
right
at this
there.
moment, we don't have a site plan
A site plan
provided.
for
It will be reviewed at the building permit phase.
Okay. And is there a gate back there? I don't remember if there was a gate for that part.
Yes, Commissioner, there is a block fence and the wrought iron fence that you see, it's also a rolling gate, and that would be their point of entrance.
I see. Okay. Got it. Thank you. I think that's all the questions I have. And there was discussion about parking out front on Main Street, but I think it's currently striped red, or is it, but it's faded out or something like that, right? Yeah, and then I think there was some discussion about maybe getting that freshened up, and that was something we were going to coordinate with Public Works or something. Is that right? Okay.
Correct, Chair Blanco.
Okay.
Public Works will refresh the red paint out front.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you for that. That was all the questions I have. Any others? No? Okay. Public comment. Is there any public comment on this item? No? Okay. That's anything else you'd like to add? Or go ahead. Go ahead. I believe you're the contractor working with them.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, councilmen and women. My name is Tony Maxwell. I'm on Agape Construction. We're licensed general and electrical contractors here in Santa Maria. Mr. Figueroa has hired us to kind of make sure that we get them to the finish line. So we'll make sure the T's are crossed and I's are dotted, make sure everything's permitted done right. So we've kind of, in the initial study session, we kind of walked through and talked through those action items. And with your guys' approval, we'll go ahead and put a plan of action and press forward. In regards to the parking in the back, I've been back there a handful of times. I'm pretty sure we could easily fit 4 vehicles back there. And if the way forward approaches, we'll go ahead and get it striped, then so be it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I think, as I recall from the study session, there wasn't a plan at this point to paint the building, right? There's no paint. Signage, is there signage? I mean, I think there would be signage, so that's separate, a separate permit?
Chair Blanco, the building is proposed to remain those blue and white colors to match the neighboring auto shop. And regarding signage, they are conditioned to apply for a sign permit if they choose to install any new signage on site.
Okay, great, thank you. Any other questions? Go ahead, Commissioner Mahajan.
Just note, thank you, Chair. Just noticing on the photo, the concrete's pretty cracked. Is that going to be something that the applicant would have to work with the neighboring building? I'm not sure if that's like a common use. I'm sure that's a common use driveway, right?
Commissioner, are you talking about the concrete on the front of the lot?
Yes. Oh, so that would just be there on their parcel.
So the parcel line for this specific lot kind of lines up with this building coming outwards with the neighboring building. I believe the conditions do talk about having to seal and restripe the parking lot, so both the front and the rear.
Perfect. It needs some beautification, that's all. Thank you.
And I think also we talked about the trees out front were going to be irrigated, watered, right? Correct, okay. Very good. All right. Any other discussion or questions, comments, motion?
I just want to reiterate, I think you'd said to keep people from utilizing the parking in front during the evenings or nighttime, that you were, aren't they're conditioned for motion sensor, motion lights of some kind? Aren't there floods that are planned?
Yeah, part of the way forward approach is we're gonna. My apologies. So part of the way forward approach is we're gonna implement wall packs. And we're gonna mount them to the exterior of the building, and we'll put them on a timer. So we'll give it a pretty good visual aesthetic where we're gonna light up the area in the evening. That kind of keeps a lot of the riffraff away.
So they're not going to be motion or motion sensor? They're going to be,
Either
basically
or.
they're just going to come out?
If the city wishes for them to be motion activated, that's fine as well. If not, we've done them before where we just put them on a timer.
Is there a condition for that? Daisy, do you know?
If I may get a minute just to
Sure.
confirm that there is one.
Okay. I know that came up at the study session. Our friend, God, who mentioned that? Somebody lives across the street mentioned that.
Nancy.
Nancy, yeah, Nancy did. She was concerned with that.
Thank you for waiting, Chair Blanco. Currently, as the condition states, is simply that the all light standards must comply with the municipal code performance standards and be reviewed at the building permit phase. If we would like to amend the condition to state that there shall be a specific type of lighting, we can.
Okay. Is there, Commissioner Dickerson, would you like to propose something?
Yeah,
there?
I mean, which do you think would be more, would end up doing the job better for lighting up that area and keeping people from using that space during the nighttime?
So it's currently not part of their proposed project, I understand, to put lighting there. If you would like to require that they put some lighting there, then it would help us to just have some clarification from you on, I think what's difficult is we don't know how many lights and exactly where they would go. We have a condition number 15 in there that Daisy was referencing that talks about some requirements per the code on how the lighting should be installed, and it has to be fully shielded, directed downward. You know, that's the standard condition that we use. I think it's also whether the applicant is willing to do that as part of their project. Sounds like it.
I think they had said.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
I mean, they were.
I don't know if they prefer one lighting or another, or we can leave it flexible, whether it's motion or it's timer. I
So
don't
the-
know if that
right.
matters to
The
us.
condition could just be amended to state that additional lighting shall be installed on the front area of the property. You know, to illuminate is it the parking area?
Mhm.
It could just be something like that, and then we can work with them at the building permit stage to make sure that happens.
And not necessarily just the front area, or not necessarily the front area of the property, but that illuminates the front area of the property, because you'd want to mount it probably to the building, unless you're putting a pole up. So, you know.
So additional lighting shall be installed on the front of the building to illuminate the parking area.
The parking area to the sidewalk, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you get that? Okay.
Fair enough. All right.
Does that work for you guys?
With the owner's consent, the original agenda was to install two wall unit wall packs, IP67 waterproof, and they're covered and protected with about 5K lumens. So that'll light up that whole area quite well.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Very good. Anything else from the commission, or
I can make a
motion? Go ahead, Commissioner Dickerson.
My motion of the evening. I move that by motion approve the conditional use permit U2026-0001.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Can we get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Dickerson?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Mohajer?
Aye.
Chair Blanco?
Aye. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. So, moving on to item 6 here, reports by staff. Dana?
Yes, thank you, Commissioners. So we are meeting for a study session tomorrow at 1:30 at the Community Development Department Conference Room over on Pine Street, otherwise known as the Moon Room. And we are going to have 2 items on the agenda tomorrow. Both of them are related to ordinance amendments. The first one is to discuss a proposed senior overlay ordinance that would apply to, I think, 5 mobile home parks in the city, and it would have some provisions that would not allow them to be converted to all-age parks. So we're going to go over that with you. And then we also have a separate item that's just a package of ordinance amendments related to ADU changes. We had the annual state law updates happen, so we need to update our ADU ordinance again. So we're going to bring that to you tomorrow. Some discussions about permitting child daycare centers and some changes we're recommending related to those, supportive housing, and a couple of other things. So that should be an interesting meeting. And then looking ahead, we don't have any items scheduled for June 3rd or June 4th. So we're going to be canceling those two meetings. And right now, for June 17th, we don't have any items, so it's possible that would get canceled. It's just still a little bit early. And then for June 18th, that's a study session, and we do have one item on that agenda so far. There's probably going to be a second one as well. And the other item I wanted to mention is the Stoll distribution facility. We did receive an appeal of the Planning Commission's approval on that particular project. And so that's going to be going to the City Council at some point in the future. I don't have a date for that yet, but I can keep you updated.
Okay.
And I don't have anything else to update you on. I think I may have already mentioned that the general plan was adopted on May 5th. So that's great. And now we're moving forward on a number of items related to that. So that was very exciting. And I think that's it. So thank you.
Great, thanks, Dana. Commissioners, any reports?
I have no report.
No reports? Okay, me neither, okay.
You're not going to report on how much sleep you get every night?
Well, we all know that. Very little. Your eyes don't look too red, though. All right, well, I don't have a gavel anymore. Did you take my gavel?
No, where'd
Okay.
the gavel go?
We're adjourned. I could just do this.
Yeah, that's right. That shows force. I like that.